Hi YouTube friends, I'm really glad that you're here with me today. This is going to be my November sew-in chat, which means you're in for a lot of rambling while I do some weird task. Today it's going to be, I'm going to start processing down all these really cool flannels. I've spent the last 3 or 4 days cutting up all of these, and these are going to be turned into Christmas stockings. So you're eventually going to see the video of those, and I'm hoping to get a couple in the shop before December hits. So let's see what we can do and let's start cutting. I did already start. I have a couple over here. I decided I'm going to go with 3-inch squares. So hopefully all of you are doing well. I know it's been a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of updates other than I feel like I have zero time for anything. Such is life right now. But I've been enjoying making shorts for you so far. We're just going to cut this messy and we're going to trim that up. That's fine. And I really do have a lot of videos that I want to start making for you and to share with you. It just seems like there's not enough hours in my day. And that's okay. Life is beautiful because we live it. I do have a Final Fantasy concert coming up later this month. Pretty excited for that. I'm going to go with some friends and hang out. That's actually, after this gets posted, be in a couple days, less than a week. So basically what that means is I have to get that dress on that I've been prolonging. For the most part, if you saw my things on my work table, there is definitely that amethyst dress. Helps if I measure the right way. Oh yeah, these are all gonna need some trimming. That's alright. But it's come together pretty well. I don't know if I'm gonna do a reveal video because it's just gonna be down to the wire, like most of my projects are. Also, I didn't quite order enough tulle for it to be exactly what I wanted, so we'll see. You guys might see it, you might not. Also, I really should have ironed these shirts before I started cutting, but hindsight is always 20/20, guys. And where's the fun in perfection? That's the other fun thing about flannel is it has a little bit of give to it. So mistakes aren't a big deal. It'll get hidden in the seam. It'll eventually stretch itself to where it needs to be. Right here, I'm not even worried about that because it's there. It's just tucked away. So I'm just going to line up my 3 and my 3 and just keep cutting. Taking the Bob Ross approach here. We're just going to not even worry about it. I'm hoping to have enough from all of these shirts to make about, I think I gotta do, I have to do at least 7 or 8 of these, and I'm hoping that I have enough fabric to do a couple more. Like I said, I'd like to get these as some stock for either craft shows or for an online shop when I open that up. But that's all a process. These will eventually be lined. I'm going to share that in a video, which I have started working on, so that's really cool. I just got to get all these cut, so I'm going to hang out with you for a little bit, do a little cutting and chatting technically, but I don't think YouTube really wants me to label this as such. Trigger warnings, sorry. Been there, done that, so don't worry. No judgment here. Like I said, this is a safe space for everyone. Hate-free zone, I believe, is a better term for it if I really want to get fun. Another thing that I really didn't talk about on my last sew and chat video when I talked about some of the channel expectations and things like that, I really didn't told you guys a lot of hopes, but I didn't tell you what I wasn't gonna do. I will talk about a shop when I open my shop with all this wonderful goodness. I will not be spamming you with sales. I will not be saying you have to buy from me. There's not going to be the pressure of that. I want you to always enjoy these videos and enjoy this little corner of YouTube, no matter where you're at in life. If you're just having a bad day, if you can't buy, no problem. I still love you being here, and I hope that you take the time to subscribe, comment, hit the like button, and just tell me you're here, and I appreciate that. It's definitely a pick-me-up when I'm making videos, like, oh, I gotta do it for so-and-so. But I have been enjoying the process. That hasn't changed, so like I said, I just feel like I don't have time, and that's okay. That is okay. Holidays are definitely a crazy time. A lot of big feelings. I know some people will be spending them alone, some people will be at work. So hopefully if you're bored, you're alone, hopefully some of my videos will reach you and we can hang out over the virtualness of the internet. But yeah, I really did. I wanted to address the fact that this is not one of those channels where I'm going to send you every week like, you need to go buy this new fabric line, you need to go get this pattern. Like, those things might be here. I won't lie to you, because that would be sad. Like, those things will be here. I will plug things. I will advertise for some things. They will be here. That's, like I said, how I'm hopefully going to make a little bit of money to support this weird habit. But that's not what this channel's about. It really is. I want it to be about the creativity, the creation of bringing something good, something positive into this world. Whether that be a quilt, whether it be a shirt, whether it be just some hand embroidery, or whether it just be a never-ending project that you just never finish. That's okay. Still make it, still do it, because it matters at the end of the day. And the world needs it. Now more than ever. As far as other project updates, if you did see what was on my sewing table, those ugly Christmas pants, they are done. I learned I definitely need a serger machine at some point, but they are done. Sorry, coffee break. And they are all washed. They fit my partner perfectly. She is super happy and excited to have those really warm pants for this winter. What else? The baby frog quilt is still the bane of my existence. I had to make some Franken batting for it. And then I found out my backing wasn't quite big enough, so I had to adjust that. It is now ready for basting, which was going to be an alternative to this. But as we're now in November, I don't really have a lot more time before these Christmas stockings need to be done for the nieces and nephews for Christmas. So, Baby Frog is back on that back burner again. My Halloween quilt, I'm still struggling with what I want to do with the backing, because again, the backing just, it doesn't fit, and that's okay. I just need to figure something else out, and I'm just not sure if I want to just get a yard of wide back fabric. That's all spooky. Don't try this at home, kids. This is not safe at all. Please don't. Never cut toward your hand. Pro tip. But I don't know if I want to do that, or if I would just want to grab a sheet, or if I want to piece something. It's too darn big is what it is, and I love that. I'm excited for that. But now with Halloween and fall over, it can wait. So it's on the back burner as well for a little bit. Stockings are a priority. you can see these are just pieces. What I did, well, I'll get into that in a minute. I'm gonna finish ranting about the things I have or have not done yet. So let's see what else was on my table. That dress is almost finished. I gotta finish hemming the tulle, the bottom parts, and I feel like that's about it. I'm kind of at those last little stages where it's just gotta be actually finished, which is exciting. I'm gonna be getting to that on my off days over the next couple days. And then everything else that was on that video has just not been touched. I know I sound like a crazy person. I'm just running around the house. Stockings! Just screaming. The cats are very upset about it. I'm getting out of line here. So, I saw a really cute scrappy stocking. It was super nice, super big, and I thought that would be a wonderful project to make because all of my nieces and nephews are at that point where they pretty much, they want money for their video games, and I remember those days. Remember how video games were the coolest thing you could get, but now it's not even about the games, it's all about the online virtual gear, which, you know, as a quote old lady, as I label myself, I don't get it, and that's okay. I don't have to. It makes them happy. So how do you make cash more exciting? Well, you really don't. It's pretty freaking exciting. But I'm gonna make these little stockings. I say little, I don't think they're very little. I think they're gonna end up like 18 inches long, so really about the size of this whole cutting mat. And that's going to have like their candy, their little odd and end. We do normally some grab bags for them, and of course their cash money, so they can buy whatever it is they decide they want that week. I'm also, I believe, going to put a zipper on them because we might be shipping them depending on weather and what else is going on in life. And also, let's be real, kids throwing their stuff around a house on Christmas Day is a zippered, you know, stocking isn't the worst idea. So, hoping to, at the very least, the stockings are going to get done. So what I ended up doing for this process is I went to, we have nearby a Goodwill Bins, is what they call it. It's the outlet store where you go in and you pay per pound, which super awesome store. If you really want to hunt through some junk to find some treasure, that is where you would do it. It's messy, it's a little gross sometimes, but you get everything for a pretty good deal as long as it's lightweight, like shirts. So if you are into making quilts out of like men's dress shirts, like Catbird quilt, or if you are just wanting to find some cheap fabric alternatives, like I really do recommend like checking it out there. I have found some amazing vintage fabric and I mean like yards of it. I have some beautiful basket liner fabric. Here, let me actually just take a second and grab that. So this is actually like a basket liner. It has like a waterproofing, and as you can see, this is a lot of fabric. And I got this alongside 7 shirts plus some other stuff, all for about $20. And again, that's in my area. Your area might vary. I think it's $1.50 per pound. So think about how much a pound of shirts is. It's quite a few, actually, come to find out. So I went there. I literally ran through and just willy-nilly grabbed whatever flannels caught my eye. I didn't worry about size. I just worried, like, did they not look like they were covered in poop? That was a stipulation. For the bins, it's a good stipulation to follow if you do go. Pro tip. But it was definitely a lot of fun. I grabbed, like I said, quite a few shirts, and all I did was I brought them home, washed them first. That was the other trick. So all of these have been washed already. Hence probably why they are so wrinkly, because I don't iron things. I'm horrible. I'm heathen like that. Anyway, so brought them home, washed them, and then I went through over, like I said, the past couple days. Probably took me about, I don't know, 3 or 4 days of working on them with other things during work, before work, kind of things. And I just went through, I cut off the seams. I cut off all of the buttons. I saved those. My partner loves buttons. She's in an amazing collection, so I put all of the buttons in this little container for her to do whatever with. And then I cut off all of the, like, thick seams, like the cuffs and things like that. All of that was just trimmed down, so all I have is pretty much just straightforward shirt fabric. So now, as you see, I'm just over here cutting it down to usable sizes, which I've determined I think 3-inch patches are going to be nice for this project. Only because I don't want to spend a lot of time doing like the smaller 2-inch super scrappy things that I normally love doing, because it's just going to take a lot of time. So I was hoping the large, bold awesomeness of the flannel could handle a 3-inch block, which will end up being, what is that, 2 3/4 by the time we're done, 2.5 visibly, or finished, I guess is the better term. So also, because, you know, I care about these darn little kids. I say little, I think the youngest is 5 now. Because I care, each one of these colors is personalized to them. So that's going to be a majority in their stocking. And that way, when we do deliver them, if we go in person, we don't even have to put a label on them for whose is whose. We just know. If we do ship them, I will attach a tag, but it's going to be theirs, and it's going to be something I know the older one will appreciate. She is a very crafty, wonderful, creative kid who's doing great things, and I'm so proud of all of them. Just don't tell them. They get weird about it. So that, and then I have a couple for them, and then I'm doing a couple extra. One of my coworkers is doing an amazing thing. She is, I don't know if it's technically called fostering or not. I don't know what the actual term for it is, but she's fostering her brother's kids. She has been for a year, and she's doing all that while working, going back to school. So, because she wasn't expecting to have them for Christmas, she's a little underprepared, and that is okay. Ooh, that piece really should be ironed. Feel free, come at me in the comments. I know. I know that it definitely should have been. But we're here now, and the iron takes a lot more setup, so we're just going to cut it and make it work itself out later in the seams. Which most of this piece is just a smidge too short anyway. And don't worry about waist. For the most part, everything that you see getting cut off, other than like the tiny little pieces, anything pretty much over an inch, gets used in some way, shape, or form in my house. I have a really weird, intense scrap processing. And then what I do, just help flatten that out. I just tuck it at the bottom of my pile and let the weight of the other squares kind of give it a little press. This piece isn't quite as bad. So I will likely do another what's on my sewing table video, where I'm pretty much probably going to end up just talking about these again. I do have a Christmas quilt that is an actual work in progress that's just chilling in the corner right now. I don't think that's going to get done realistically, and that's okay. Like I said, it's also still November. My mission is honestly just to get these darn stockings done. Like I said, I'm gonna sound like a crazy person for a little bit. And then as far as any like life updates, anything like that, I'm just a boring person. I go to work, I come home, I sew things. Like I said, I'm excited. I have that Final Fantasy concert coming up. But outside of that, there is not much going on. And I'm very happy about that. See, like that, that's scrap. That's the part that goes to the garbage. This part probably as well, but any of these pieces, they'll either get turned into 2-inch squares for my hexagon quilt, or they will be passed off to my partner. She does a lot of really cool scrappy Mod Podge style things. So see right here, you can tell this was part of a collar of a shirt, you know, where the tag normally is. So everything's getting chopped. Still can't believe October is already gone. We are already in November. Just seems crazy. I don't know where you live, but we are about to get snow, our first snow here in the next couple days. I'm not mad about it. I don't hate the snow. Not one of those people. I actually prefer cold weather over warm. The part that I do dislike is that I will be working while it's snowing, which means on my breaks I'm going to be running out there, starting the car, cleaning that off. So as soon as I'm done, I can just go on home. But I don't think it's going to be too bad. Our first one or two normally isn't. But like I said, I am personally happy for the cooler weather. I wish we had a little bit more fall, because truly that is the best. Where I live, we get beautiful colors in the trees. Everything just, it has that fall magic that you see in the movies. And I'm so thankful that I get to see that every year. Just wish it was a little bit longer. This year's was a little short. We went like straight from 80s and 90s, like right into the 40s, and I'm like, ooh. Everyone's gonna be sick, but that's alright. We all get through it. That's a good scrap. Well, something will be made about that. You guys will definitely see some of these floating around in the future. I'm not officially timing myself on how fast or how long it takes me to cut up one entire shirt. I probably should, truthfully. I'm not as worried on right and wrong sides. I'm really just trying to get my squares out of these so I can get to the fun part of sewing. Just line it up wherever makes most sense and just cut away. Like I said, these shirts were super affordable because of the bins. Another really cool thing, if you have one in your area, like I said, check it out. It is crazy. It is chaotic. If you're overwhelmed by a lot of people in a indoor building, like if the thought of Sam's Club or Costco like freaks you out, maybe don't. Maybe skip the bins. Costco overwhelms me some days. But the bins people are, I don't want to say intense. If you've been there, you know exactly what I mean. But it's definitely a good time. It's a great resource. You can find some really cool stuff. I'm trying to think of some of the other things I have found. Oh, I find a lot of junk. I bring home a lot of junk. For example, like these really cool vintage snaps that my partner found on her last adventure. Get that camera angle, make sure I'm not too bright. The patent on these is actually from, saw it the other day on it, here we go. Copyright 1950. So, really cool snaps. They're still pretty well together, so that's exciting. I don't know what I'm going to do with those. I don't do a lot of kids' clothes, but that doesn't mean I won't slap those on something. Also, when I'm at a table, sorry guys, I am really bad at leaving my blade open because the cats don't come up here. I promise you, when I am on the floor and where they can get, that blade is back every 3 seconds. There's no risk for them. Me? Nah, that's a whole nother story. I get crazy when it's just me. Feels like this first shirt just keeps on going. Which, again, it's a pretty good thing when you're looking to bulk up some fabric. Oh, and that just fits. Oh yeah. Not much better than a perfect fit. And again, if it's a smidge off, I really don't think the kids are going to care if the points line up. Again, they're after their Fortnite money. Or Roblox. I don't even know what it is this year. I'm the cool aunt in the way that I can talk to them about it, but once they get too deep, I'm, yeah, it sounds good, buddy. Oh, one other thing, if you guys did see what's on my sewing table video, you might have seen the big floral quilt that I was working on that I'm hand quilting. I have pulled that one back out. That one is not quite next to my chair, but close enough to where I can work on that in the evenings now that it's starting to get cooler out. So that one's been got about half a square done, which doesn't sound like much, but for a 12-inch block, it's a good chunk. So I think last time I looked, I'm about a third of the way through, maybe almost halfway on that one. So depending on how much snow we get this whole holiday season, whole winter season. Shoot, I'll extend that all the way until March, April. Hopefully I can get that done. And that would be awesome. As far as things that I am using today and what I generally use, I'm a very cheap person. If a pattern calls for extras, like, I'm never going to do that pattern. It's just not going to happen. Like, if I have to cut my own template, that's cool, as long as they give me that. But if I have to go out and, like, buy a special ruler or something, like, no. I'm not doing it. So, I just have a General Fiskars. This is a 60mm rotary cutter. I buy my blades from either Walk or Amazon, wherever I can find them cheaper at that time. I do get the Japanese ones a lot, which are a great deal, good steal. And then this OmniGrid ruler was part of a set. This is the largest one, and then the smallest one is this cute little 2.5-inch one. Because I work with a lot of small blocks, that one's definitely a lifesaver. There's a couple others, but honestly, I don't use them that much. I could, like for this right here, like a smaller ruler would probably be easier to handle, but I like having the room to be able to cut the full strip. And that'll eventually be chopped down. Like I said, I do use just about everything that I can. I also am setting aside little 2-inch squares for that big hexie quilt that I'm working on. So, coffee break. So I've got 2 more pieces for this shirt, and the first shirt is finally done. Only 6 more to go. I did luck out another thing, that when I was grabbing these shirts, I didn't necessarily check for cotton, but I made sure to feel them. I needed them to feel, I don't want to say organic, but they needed to feel like good shirts, good flannel shirts. Because again, it's for Christmas stocking. Like, they can be a little mixed fabrics, but you really want that warm flannel feel. Or at least I do. I don't want to wear it. Nah, who am I kidding? I love flannel. I do have a texture thing though. This is about as fuzzy as I get. But I really wanted that warm feeling with these. When I got home, I was happily surprised. All but I think one of them was 100% cotton. So maybe a second one had a little mixture in it. Again, I'm not that worried about it. Some people say you can't mix fabrics. Are there some problems that come up with it? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not that kind of person. And I don't think if it's going to stress you out, then by all means, don't mix your fabrics. But if you find something you really want to use it in a quilt, like, go check out A Full English over on Instagram. He is an amazing mixed textile quilter. And this dude has honestly put everything into his quilts. And yes, they've been at Quilt Fest, or the Festival of Quilts, the one in Europe. Now, because this back panel is so big, I am going to fold it and hopefully cut rows out of it. Yeah. But yeah, he's put like work pants mixed in with velvets, mixed in with reflective gear. Like, it's really incredible to see. And guess what? It's all mixed. And at the end of the day, it looks amazing. It doesn't really matter. And the small things that do matter, like, oh, the shrinkage or this or that. Another saying I hear a lot in the wonderful Facebook group I'm in: if you can't see it on a galloping horse, don't worry about it. You can't see it from a galloping horse, I guess is the actual phrase. Basically, we, as crafters, we do strive to make the best things that we can. Trust me, I'm there all the way. I'm the first one to have a meltdown when I don't have enough fabric or something doesn't line up right, or I'm so close to that perfection, and I'm trying to forgive myself. It's been a work in progress this year. Be kinder to myself. So, but I know that feeling, but at the end of the day, like I said, the kids want the money for the fortnight. They don't care if all the squares are exactly even or if all the points line up. Every quilt I've ever gifted somebody, nobody ever went, you know, this one thing is weird. And even if they do, that's a them problem at that point. I took time, love, effort, and I made you something. You don't have to love it, because this is my tribute to you. So, but that's also how I look at gifts and giving quilts. This pile, I don't know if you guys can see, that is getting huge. At one point I was worried about, oh man, maybe I won't have enough fabric. Now I'm like, oh no, I'm going to be making stockings for a week. Probably longer. It's okay. Like I said, hopefully I can get some good footage for you guys, aka remember to do this wonderful setup, because this is all temporary in my living room right now. I have to tear it down every time I go to film. One day it won't be like that, but for today it still is, and that's okay. But hopefully I can get all of that set up and I can do some filming for you guys and really show you the process of me making these stockings, so you can also make your own. Find your own old clothes, tear them apart. And I believe one of these shirts actually, like, it had a hole in it, and somebody probably got rid of it because there's a random hole in it. You can't wear a shirt that a dog chewed through. And that's where I come in and snatch it up, cut it down, because the hole doesn't really matter. But yeah, find some clothes. Maybe your grandpa or somebody had some really nice flannels and you've just been sitting there looking at them. A stocking would be a great way to always have a loved one around. Made from like their flannels or even their denim. Shoot, denim's another real fun fabric to work with. So don't be afraid to experiment. Try some things. Get out there. But I've definitely taken enough of your time today. I do appreciate you hanging out with me while I sit here and cut this and ramble on about absolutely nothing important. Hopefully you got a few good chuckles. And if you didn't, hopefully you come back next time to grab a couple. I promise these will get better as I go. Because that's how you learn. The more you do something, the better you get at it. End of story. I was about to ramble off onto another story instead of letting you go about your day. Because I'm sure you have important things to do. No matter what that is. It's important to you. It's important to the world. Go create something. Go be kind. And enjoy the rest of your day. I will catch you guys on the next video. Again, I appreciate having you here. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. I love you for it. Bye.